I feel like practicing is cheating, you know? I did play for a little bit last night, just to give the fans a taste of what's to come. But I feel like if I practice too much, it's kind of like cheating. So I didn't want to do too much of that, and just kind of let my natural gaming athleticism speak for itself.
We got 4 titles that we're playing across. What title do you feel most confident on?
Uh, well, a lot of people know I'm really, really good at shooters. So I would say all of them, since there are 3 shooters that we're playing. I think it's Fortnite coming up this week. We already played Apex, and we have CS:GO. We also have Street Fighter, which I've played a little bit of recently. But I'm overwhelmingly confident in every single game ever, um, and that confidence is justified.
I was told to ask, are there any games you don't? I might already know the answer. Are there any games you are concerned about?
Absolutely not.
I gotta
I'm gonna
ask.
be honest. Okay, I'm horrible at shooters. Okay, like when you're growing up, there's this thing. It's like, so I play a lot of sports games, right? Like Madden and FIFA and all this. Like you have like stat points, right? Strength, speed, agility. There's like it's skills in different games, and I put all my skills into not shooters growing up. I was playing RPGs and like logic games, just building that kind of stuff, right? So I screwed up. I made a massive mistake. Now something like Street Fighter has been fun. Street Fighter, I started playing that a little bit, and I kind of see it. A lot of people say like people who play like MMOs and stuff, the skills kind of translate because it's like hitting the buttons and whatnot. And I kind of see it because a lot of people said I've been picking up Street Fighter really quickly. But that's really the only one that I've played a lot of. I played a ton of Counter Strike Source in like middle school. That's what I played. I played Counter Strike Source and WoW, and eventually I just went with WoW, and then I stopped playing WoW, and now I have nothing left. So,
I mean,
so
you kind of got thrown in the ringer too with a bunch of FPS like heavy streamers with an FPS heavy competition. So I think expectations were set.
well,
You're here to
wait,
have
what are you
fun,
trying to
man.
say?
Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa! You're not worried. I'm not worried for you. Like you said, like I expect a lot of you these next 3 weeks. I'm not concerned.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, no, I look. My thing is, I will any team that I'm on, I will carry the conversation and I just let them win the game. That's fine. I can just talk and then they can play and then I'll just try and not die. Now, here's the thing. I actually don't know the format of any of the games that we're playing, but I've heard that Fortnite is a free for all. I think it's just 1v1v1v1 in a map in a custom map. Um, and that would suck because I need a teammate.
You seem well prepared for all this. This whole
Oh,
FPS thing.
absolutely, I am. No, I just haven't had the time to. I've been very busy. I've been traveling. We did TwitchCon. We did everything else. So it's been very difficult to sit down and play games like I normally do. But I mean, we played that first Apex game or the first round playing Apex, and chat loved it. They absolutely adored watching me just get completely demolished. So, hey, as long as it's entertaining, that's all I care about. If we can get to some kind of prizing or whatever, then great. That's even better. But as long as people are entertained, then I'm happy.
So far throughout the competition, who's been the most annoying streamer to come up against?
Emaru, 100%. Yeah, she's just the arrogance, the ego, just the amount of trash talk that happens on and off stream is just second to none. I just cannot fathom how anybody could be able to withstand such a thing. Taking the just constant berating from Emaru.
And there's a lot of money on the line. I know you've already alluded to this a little bit, but when it came to being in the competition entirely before these 4 weeks even were underway, were you practicing at all? I know you said you touched a few games, but you've been busy traveling. Did you get much practice in or preparation in at all?
Like I said, practicing is like cheating. So, I would never do that. I wouldn't. The integrity and the natural gaming athleticism coming into play, I think, is the most important thing. Um, However, yes, I did try to practice a little bit. Uh, I did. I mean, I didn't actively practice, but I have been trying to play more FPS games and more shooters lately in general, just because I'm like, you know what? I've got to learn how to play these because there's too many like events and stuff going on where um it's like, okay, well, I got to have at least like a pedestrian knowledge of how to play this game. So I've been passively practicing, not actively practicing. That's what I would say.
Who do you think is going to be the biggest challenge throughout this challenge?
Absolutely, Jakenbake. That guy is relentless. I mean, he has coaches. His coaches have coaches. I mean, this guy's been training for this thing since the tournament ended last year. Okay, I mean, Jakenbake is a ruthless competitor, and I do think he will be the hardest challenge for anybody in the tournament.
Can you name your biggest streaming achievement ever? I know you've had quite a few and you've done this for quite some time, but thinking back on it, what is one of your biggest achievements that you're most proud of?
That is a good question. Um, I'm not proud of anything. I'm really proud of everything we've done with OTK, the org and everything else. I mean, OTK is such a big one. It's hard for me to even get past it mentally. And that's probably what I'll say. I mean, being able to get a group of guys together who, like, we're a bunch of like longtime streamers, a lot of big streamers, and have like a collective of people like that who we're all kind of like adjacent to each other in different ways. Like this person kind of does what this person does, kind of does what that person does, and so on. Um, and to have it work so well, and to be able to pull off the things that we do, and to not have any sort of weird, like cringe behind the scenes, like high school drama or whatever. Like we just work, and uh, I feel like that's something that is very hard to come by, especially as you have more and more people involved. And everybody kind of has, we're on the same page. Obviously, people have different opinions on stuff, but the fact that we're like mentally on the same page, despite the fact that we have different opinions, allows us to be able to come together and to be able to discuss stuff and be able to be like, okay, we're going to make this decision for this thing. We're going to do this for that thing, and it's worked out really, really well. And I'm really, really proud of everything that we've done together in OTK.
And with everything you've done individually and also as a group too, how has streaming changed your life?
I mean, maybe some people know this, some people don't know this, but I started streaming in 2017. I actually started streaming on YouTube, and I was just basically streaming because I ran out of hard drive space on my computer, and I was doing vanilla WoW private server YouTube content, and I wanted to stream my raids, and I was just going to record my raids and post them, and I was like, well, I'll just stream on YouTube because I already have a YouTube channel, and then it'll just show up there. So it's just like a VOD, but I didn't have any hard drive space. So I couldn't record and post. So yeah, it just goes directly there. It's literally why I started streaming. I kind of made a big deal about it or whatever when I started. And it just kind of worked out pretty good. Like I was well known, and like that kind of went from I was in between jobs. I was going to get another job in college football. So I used to work in college football. I played for a little bit, but I got hurt right away. Wasn't involved. Got asked to come back and join the staff. I did that for a couple of years with Chad Morris at SMU. And then I even went back and was working at the stadium after I started streaming because I got banned off YouTube because private servers were illegal. So I got banned off YouTube. And then I went from being like on Blizzard's like naughty list to being on like the good boy list for Blizzard. So I switched to Twitch, and I went back to SMU, and I was working there again, kind of doing something a little bit different, but I was streaming out of the stadium, and it's like a whole thing. But I was planning on I was gonna go coach football. Like I was working on my teaching certificate, and I was either gonna work in college football, probably like front office stuff, trying to get into coaching, or I had offers to go coach high school football at like a few different schools. But they were like, you just got to get your teaching certificate, and we got you a job. So I was working on my certificate, and then my stream just kind of like popped off. And then next thing you know, Classic WoW was announced, and I was like, well, I just kind of got to keep riding this thing out and just see what happens. And here we are. So I don't play Classic WoW anymore that much. But occasionally I'll go back and whatnot. But now I'm just kind of doing everything else. But yeah, that's kind of like the whole trajectory of my life went from like sports to video games, and now I'm kind of trying to bring them both back together with like all the Madden stuff and the football stuff that I do, the draft show and everything.
Yeah,
So yeah,
that's a sick story. I was going to mention earlier too when it comes to like individual achievements. I like how you've almost been blending sports into streaming into gaming. So there's not too many other creators I can name that have been doing that, you know?
yeah, yeah. I think a lot of people think like there's um like sports aren't big on Twitch, or like people on Twitch aren't interested in sports. I'm like, dude, you guys are crazy. I mean, like sports fans are everywhere,
Yeah.
and different sports content does really well on the internet. I mean, in different platforms, and sure, maybe historically it hasn't done well on Twitch, but I mean, the fact that like I'll be honest, I did that draft show, and I did the draft show, Esfand's Draft Night Extravaganza is what we called it, and Will Neff joined me, Erob joined me as co-hosts. I told them I was like, hey, I want to do this thing, and they were like, I'm in, like right away.
Yeah.
So we did that. And we had like 20K viewers on a draft show on Twitch, NFL draft show on Twitch, having 20K viewers, um, with for the whole first round without having any sort of like rights to highlights and footage from like the actual players. Like that was crazy to have that many viewers without having any. That was the first year we did it, and the production was insane, and there was such a good reception to it afterwards too. People were just talking about how good that show was. That was one of those things I'm really proud of. Yeah. So it's been cool to see kind of like everything come together, or either that or like the tailgate IRL streams, that's fans tailgate tour that I do. I put my name in the titles a lot, so I don't forget. It's like, oh yeah, this is my show. But yeah.
Yeah, that one was cool too. I love the blend between sports and gaming. I feel like it's only growing with all these athletes, like and the NFL, NBA. They're also creators themselves, or they play video games in their free time. Really, last one for you. I know you get around a lot. You were just in Paris for TwitchCon. You guys do OTK events all the time, some IRL events too. How do you stay connected with all your fans? Like, what are all the multitude of ways that you try and stay connected?
I mean, big thing is like, just social media, right? Discord, Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff. Threads, I haven't even posted on there yet. But I'm like, whatever. I'm just okay, sure, add it, whatever. That was the easy one. A lot of these you have to go make an account or whatever. It's just like, okay, sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the thing is it's just easy for me to. I have Esfand TV on everything, so it's like really easy to have that back and forth with everybody. And people are just like, oh yeah, Instagram, boom, Esfand TV, Discord, TikTok, just literally everything is Esfand TV. So that's like kind of a cool thing. That's why I haven't changed it. A lot of people are like, why do you still have TV in your name? And I was like, well, I just have TV on everything, so I change it.
Yeah, it's hard to get on everything too. So
yeah, it's worth.
Do you have any last messages for your competitors? We got 2.5 weeks, almost 3 weeks still left of the competition. Any words for your competitors out there? How much they should fear you?
I would just say, remember this face, okay? When you see this face, fear should be into your heart, or stricken, or whatever. I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't know what the proper word is, but you should feel something when you see this. One way or the other. I don't